Have you ever looked at your savings or investment account and felt a deep, overwhelming sense of frustration? You keep adding a little bit of money every single month, you try to make the right financial choices, yet it feels like the balance just refuses to grow fast enough. We live in an instant gratification culture where you can get food delivered to your door in 30 minutes, stream any movie ever made in 3 seconds, and buy practically anything with a single click. Because of this, the idea of waiting decades for financial results sounds absolutely barbaric to most people. But the truth is, wealth does not grow in a straight line. It does not provide instant feedback. It grows exactly like a snowball rolling down a mountain. It starts out tiny, slow, and fragile, but eventually it accelerates until it becomes a massive, unstoppable force. Today, we are breaking down the 3 specific net worth milestones where compound interest stops being just a mathematical theory and starts being completely life-changing. Section 1. The math of the grind, setting the foundation. To understand these milestones, you first have to understand the mental trap that keeps most people broke. Most people imagine that building wealth is a perfectly predictable, linear process. They think if they save $50,000, they are exactly $50,000 closer to their goal. It makes logical sense, but it is completely backwards from how money actually works when it is invested properly. Money does not just sit there, it earns returns, and then those returns start earning their own returns. This is what Albert Einstein supposedly called the 8th wonder of the world. To see this in action, imagine you decide to intentionally invest $500 every single month. That is roughly $125 a week. For many people, that amount simply represents the cost of eating out a few times, paying for premium cable packages, or buying daily coffees. Assuming your investments earn a very realistic average return of 7% annually, you are officially in the wealth-building game. But you are about to face the ultimate test of human endurance. Section 2. Milestone 1, the $100,000 turning point. The first major tipping point happens at $100,000, and reaching this number is unequivocally the hardest part of your entire financial life. Investing that $500 a month at a 7% return means it will take you approximately 7 years and 9 months to reach this mark. Almost 8 years might sound like an absolute eternity, but look closely at what is happening beneath the surface. Out of that first $100,000, roughly $46,000 came directly from your own monthly contributions. You were doing the heavy lifting, sweating for every single dollar, while the remaining $54,000 came from the returns your money generated. Think of this phase like pushing a massive boulder up a steep hill. The beginning is brutal, exhausting, and progress feels painfully slow. This is the exact stage where most people make a critical mistake and give up. They look at those 8 years, decide the process is far too slow, and spend their money on a new car instead to feel successful. What they do not realize is that they just quit right before the magic begins. Section 3. The invisible acceleration. Once you push that heavy boulder to the very top of the hill, gravity finally takes over. You might logically assume that reaching the next $100,000 will take another 8 grueling years. You would be completely wrong. From this point forward, your money starts working much harder than you do. To get from $100,000 to $200,000, it only takes about 5 more years. You are still putting in the exact same $500 a month and taking the exact same level of risk, but you shaved years off the timeline because your original money is now quietly earning returns on its own returns. By the time you hit the 18-year mark, your balance will reach $400,000. At that point, nearly 3/4 of your total wealth comes from compound growth rather than your own personal savings. You are generating roughly $28,000 a year just from investment returns. Your money is producing more than a quarter of your original milestone every single year without you lifting a finger. Section 4. Milestone 2. The $650,000 freedom line. As you let that snowball roll, you eventually hit the second major tipping point, $650,000. This is the milestone that quietly separates people who are just surviving from people who are truly living life on their own terms. To fully understand why this number is so significant, look at the median household income in the United States, which is around $78,000 a year. That income requires someone to sell their time to an employer, deal with daily commutes, handle office politics, and answer to demanding bosses. But if you have $650,000 invested, an 8% annual return generates roughly $52,000 in completely passive income. While that does not perfectly match the median household income, it is a staggering amount of money that does not require an alarm clock, an office, or a commute. You have built a financial foundation strong enough to cover a massive portion of your basic living expenses without working another day in your life. Section 5. The psychological shift, risk, and opportunity. Crossing this second milestone at $650,000 triggers a complete psychological transformation. You officially exit financial survival mode. When you are broke, every financial decision is filtered through fear and scarcity. But when you have hundreds of thousands of dollars working for you, your entire relationship with risk changes. The fear of financial ruin shrinks dramatically when you realize you can generate $40,000 to $50,000 a year passively. Suddenly, losing a job is just a minor inconvenience rather than a total catastrophe. You have what is known as walking away money. You can finally afford to take calculated risks that can accelerate your wealth even further. You can confidently ask for a raise, start that business you have always dreamed about, or go back to school to learn a new skill. You are no longer postponing your life for a mythical retirement age. You have the breathing room to design your life based on your own values today. Section 6. Milestone 3. The $1 million finish line. If you keep the machine running and stick to your monthly contributions, around year 29, you cross the third and most legendary milestone, $1 million. Even though inflation means $1 million does not buy what it used to, the mathematics at this level become absolutely ridiculous in your favor. A 7% return on $1 million is $70,000 in growth in a single year. Your money is now making more money than you ever could through physical labor alone. From this point forward, the acceleration is mind-bending. To jump from $1 million to $2 million, your portfolio only needs to double, which historically happens every 7 to 10 years, depending on market performance. The jump from $2 million to $3 million only requires a 50% increase. From $3 million to $4 million, you need just a 33% boost. What used to take decades of aggressive saving now happens almost automatically in the background of your life. The ultimate truth about these 3 milestones is that they test your patience far more than they test your intelligence. Anyone can understand the basic math behind compound interest, but very few people have the emotional endurance to tolerate the wait. The first milestone at $100,000 teaches you raw discipline. The second milestone at $650,000 gives you the power of ultimate freedom and options. And the third milestone at $1 million gives you the perspective that true wealth is about working smarter and waiting longer. Stop waiting for a magical windfall or a lottery ticket. Start investing consistently today. Automate your contributions and let time do the heavy lifting for you. If this video helped you see the absolute truth about building wealth, please hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. See you in the next one.